On a regular flight, Egyptian star Mohamed Salah sat quietly in his seat like any other passenger, not expecting these few hours in the sky to turn into a human story everyone would talk about. He was reading a small book with a calm smile, but from the first moment, the treatment from the flight attendant seemed different. The first provocation. The flight attendant approached with a frown and said curtly, "Close your bag quickly, don't be late." Salah only responded with a calm smile and a simple, "Okay, sure." But the passengers noticed that her style with him was not the same as with others. While serving meals, the attendant began distributing food with a smile to all passengers. But when she reached Salah, her expression changed. She coldly said, "This is the last dish. If you want it, take it. If not, then don't." But Salah only responded with another smile and calmly said, "Thank you, all good." A moment of silence ensued as some passengers exchanged puzzled glances. The provocation repeated itself. Salah tried to hide a little to rest, but the attendant returned, intentionally waking him under the pretext of checking the seatbelt. Passengers raised their eyebrows in astonishment. The scene was clear. Repeated provocation without any justification. At that moment, an English passenger intervened. One of the English passengers couldn't contain himself. He stood up angrily and said to the attendant, "This is unacceptable. Why are you treating him this way?" Passengers began to react with whispers and disapproval. But Salah calmly raised his hand, saying, "Please sit down, everyone. Everything is fine." Even in a moment of tension, Salah chose patience and calm. The pilot intervened, but the English passenger did not calm down. He went to the front of the plane, and after a few minutes the pilot came out with a serious face, stood in front of the attendant, and said firmly, "Madam, this behavior is inappropriate. All passengers here deserve respect, especially a guest of Mr. Mohamed Salah's stature." The attendant lowered her head in shame while the passengers lightly applauded, admiring Salah's calmness. And the moment of decision was set. Everyone thought the story was over. But the attendant did not change much. After a short while, she returned to ignore Salah and show coldness in her dealings with him. This time, Salah decided to act differently. He took out his phone and wrote a small note to file a complaint with the company. The company's reaction after the flight. The complaint reached the company's office, and an urgent meeting was held to gather the passengers' testimonies. And the attendant was investigated. After reviewing all the details, the decisive decision came to dismiss the attendant immediately. She left her office in tears, carrying her bag, having lost her job, thinking her professional life was over. The surprise in the village. But the story was not over yet. Days later, in Mohamed Salah's simple village, the attendant appeared again. She arrived in modest clothes, carrying a small bag and a face full of regret. She stood in front of Salah's house hesitantly, then knocked on the door fearfully. Salah came out with his usual smile, and she said to him in a tearful voice, "I was wrong. I lost my job and everything. I came to ask for your forgiveness and perhaps your help." The human ending. Salah looked at her calmly and then said with a warm smile, "We all make mistakes. The important thing is to learn. I will help you return to your job." He picked up his phone and called the company. "Please consider her return to work. Everyone deserves a second chance." The attendant broke down in joy, thanking him with tears in her eyes. Thus, Mohamed Salah taught us that strength is not in responding to insults but in forgiveness, and that humanity is stronger than any dispute. Translation by Nancy Kankar.